Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I done a review slash wear test on the PS My Perfect Colour Ultimate Long Wearing Matte Foundation, I think it's called. I'm in the middle of editing the video now and I never recorded an intro, so if you'd like to see how the foundation that was on my skin and how it wore and everything, then please just keep on watching. So I've done my eyebrows, primed my eyelids with concealer and that, and I'm going to do my eyeshadow after I apply the foundation and that, and this is just what it looks like, and it does come in like a glass bottle, and then I'm guessing that it's a pour one because I don't think a pump would fit in there. So it's called the PS My Perfect Colour Longwear Ultimate Matte Foundation, double coverage, matte finish, oh my god, oil free, and it has SPF 15. That's pretty much all the information that it gives you, and I do have it in the shade Porcelain. Every time that I've been to the Primark near me, they always have like the darker shades of it, and a couple of weeks ago I went and they finally had a light one, so I just picked it up. I'm hoping that it's going to be okay. It might be slightly too light because I do have like the tiniest bit of a tan right now, but I did see somewhere that this is supposed to be a dupe of the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, and I'm not going to be able to tell you if it is or not because I haven't tried that foundation yet. So because I do have dry skin and this is a matte foundation, I'm going to go in with some primer, and I'm going to use the Collection Primed and Ready primer. This is the Anti-Fatigue Illuminating Primer, and as it says, it is illuminating, but it does just feel really nice and moisturising on the skin, and it does just feel really nice. And I do know how this sits on my face and how it works and everything, so that is the only reason that I'm using it today, because normally when I'm doing testing foundations I don't wear primer just to see how it acts like on my skin, but because I know how this primer is with all of my foundations, I'm just going to use it. So I'm going to do one side with a brush and one side with a sponge, and I'm just going to pour some of this onto the back of my hand. Where is it? It's coming out like very, very slowly. I think that's enough. That's probably too much, so I think I'll do the side with the sponge first. Don't know how much to put on. I think we'll go with that, and I'm just going to blend it in. And I did get, oh look at that bruise on my arm, I hurt my arm off of the table that I've got sitting next to my couch because George was falling and was going to hit his head, so I tried to catch him and like bangs my arm off of the table. So I do have a huge bruise. It was in a lump as well, and this is the watch that I got for my birthday. I went and got some links to out it. I had to get 3 links to out it so that it fit my wrist, and it fits perfectly now, so thank you mum and dad for my watch. So it does seem to be blending out nicely. It's not really covered much on my skin, so I think I will go in with a second layer, see if we can build it up. Maybe I just never put enough on my face, but oh, that's like ran down my hand. That was close. So I've just added a little bit more, and I'm just going to go in and blend it out again. It's not looking too matte. It is looking matte, but there is still a little bit of shine coming through. I think that might just be from my primer. We'll see once I've like blended this out and everything. I'm just going to go along the top of my nose with my sponge because my sponge works better along my nose for some reason. When I blend foundation out with a brush along the top of my nose, it just looks really weird. It doesn't like blend into my skin nicely. So it is a pretty good shade match for my skin. You can just see because I have got a bit of a tan that it is looking a little bit too light, but that's fine. I can bronze it up a little bit, but it's still not giving me that much of coverage on like my cheek here. Like, it's still not looking as if it's covered everything, and it's sinking into my smile line already. Foundations normally do that anyway, but they don't do it this fast, and it is really quite matte. So I've just added foundation to this side of my face, and we'll see how it looks blended out with a brush. I'm not entirely sure if I like this, but then again, that's probably just because I do have like dry skin, but even then I don't have like any dry patches on my skin right now. My skin's actually been pretty good recently, so I'm going to need to go in with more. So what I'm noticing straight away is it's blended quite nicely into this side of my face, but see with this side with the brush, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, it's just like sticking in like the hair on my face, and that sounds disgusting, but everybody has hair on my face unless they shave it or get it threaded or waxed or whatever, but it's just, that is just looking disgusting. I'm just going to go over it with my sponge, see if I can blend it in, because that is just not looking great. So it's looking better now that I've blended it in with my sponge, but it's like picked up the foundation there because I've blended it in with the brush, and now the sponge, it's looking dry here. I didn't even have a dry patch there, but it's found one to cling onto. It's actually looking okay on my skin. Probably should have, if I used like an oil primer, like that might have been better, because obviously I do have dry skin, but I'm going to see if I can build some more coverage on my cheeks, because that's where I need it most, and a little bit on my nose there, like the places that don't seem to be covering at all. So I'm just going to blend over this and hopefully, oh, flung my sponge. So now that my sponge is covered in cat hairs, I'm going to blend out this side, but it's not covering it, it's just making it look worse rather than better. So I tried to go in with like the slightest bit more foundation to try and blend it in with my finger to see if that would help, and it's not helping. It's literally just sticking onto my face and it's not blending out, it's not looking great. Hopefully I could put some like concealer over it. I know it's on my cheek, but hopefully some concealer will make it look a bit better. For concealer I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. Mine looks absolutely disgusting because I use it all the time, so hopefully this works well with this foundation. And just blending this in with my sponge, and we'll see how it blends out into that foundation. It's looking a little bit cakey on like my forehead, like right here for some reason. It's looking quite cakey. It's looking cakey on like the ends of my nose as well. That might be because of how much I've like put on my nose to try and cover it, and it's still not covered it as much as what other foundations do. So it does seem to be blending nicely into the foundation, like it doesn't seem to be like leaving a line or anything on my face. It does seem to be blending nicely. Just putting some of this concealer on my cheeks just to try and see if this will help it any. And just quickly, I have ordered some new makeup. I'm going to be doing a test in new drugstore makeup. I do have most of the stuff, just like the rest of the stuff that I never had, I've ordered it. So that will be here between 3 to 5 working days. So I think this is Friday, so this video is going up tonight. So maybe on Monday's video, if it comes tomorrow, it'll be in Monday's video, but if not, then it will be Friday's video. So that's gave me more coverage from the concealer, but you can see it's still not blended out. So I can't remember if I said or not, but I'm pretty sure that foundation is like £5 or £6. I'm going to go to Primark tomorrow, so I'll double check and see, and if it's like a completely different price from what I've said, I will change it down below in the description box, but I don't think I can link it from Primark, so but I'll write like the name and everything of it down below. So far I'm like heading towards not really liking it, but I'm not sure. It's still quite tacky, has still got a little bit of a stick to it. It's picking up on dry patches that I didn't even know that I had, and it is looking cakey around my nose, on like my actual nose, and then here for some reason in like this one spot it's looking a bit cakey on my cheeks as well from having to blend it, and you can really see my pores as well, which obviously is a bad thing if you have really big pores. So I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Master Fix Loose Setting Powder and see, this is just what it looks like, and see how this looks once it's been set. Cat hair and my brush, and I'm just going to try and set this like really lightly because it is a matte foundation. Not want to set it too much and then end up having like my skin feeling like extremely tight and just disgusting. So now that my face is set, I'm liking it less and less. It's just looking really horrible on my skin. Like I don't even know what is it wrong with it. Like it's looking really cakey in this bit. I don't know, guys. Maybe if you have got oily skin, then you will like this a lot better than what I do, but I'll keep on continuing to test it out throughout the day and let you know how I got on. So I'm going to go finish doing the rest of my makeup, and then I'll be back to show you how it looks when it's all done. So I've just went and done the rest of my makeup, and from further away it actually looks okay on the skin. Like it doesn't look too bad, but see when you get close and you actually look at my skin, it does not look great. It is, there we go, that is how my skin is looking right now. It is just not looking great. It's cakey and at the sides of my nose, on my nose here, as I said earlier, but from further away it does look decent. Well, not really decent, but it looks okay, but getting close up it is just not good. So if you do have dry skin, I wouldn't recommend this foundation. It is not great, but I'm going to give this to my little sister Rebecca because she does have oily skin. So hopefully she'll like it better, and if she does like it or whatever, any of her thoughts on it, I'll update my description box once she's tried it and let you know how she got on with it, in case you guys do have oily skin and you're wanting to try it. Then I'll let you know what she thinks of it. But I don't like this. I don't even want to keep it on my face. My face just feels really dry and like tight. Like it doesn't matter how much setting spray I put on my face. I've got hundreds of setting spray on my face just to try and like melt it into my skin, and it's just not helping. So I'll be back in a couple of hours and we'll see how it's looking then. So it's been about 4 hours and 15 minutes now. I did forget to tell you that I finished putting this all on at about 1:15, and so it's been on my face for about 4 hours and 15 minutes, and it doesn't feel as tight as what it did when I was first wearing it. Like it felt really tight and uncomfortable. It doesn't feel like that anymore, but it still doesn't look great. It's really sunk into my smile lines and they just look horrible. Most of it's came off my nose already, but that does happen. It's just extremely cakey and looking disgusting on my skin. And this came off my forehead a little bit because George did give me a kiss, and he kisses like this. So that is how he kissed me. So it has came off my forehead a little bit, but honestly, I'm probably just going to take this makeup off. I don't think I'm going to do another check-in because I'm not going to be wearing this foundation again. I did give it to my little sister when I went up to my mum's. So I just went over the top of my smile lines with my fingers, just going like this and lightly like pulling at it a little bit just to blend it out, and they have like completely disappeared. So that is a tip: if your foundations do crease into your smile lines, just go over it lightly and it will blend like the foundation and that back into your skin so that you don't have the smile lines anymore. But honestly, if you do have dry skin, I wouldn't recommend it. It is just looking really bad on my skin, and especially round my nose. It's just not looking great at all, guys. So I was going to end the video here, but I gave George one of his rice wafer things to eat, and it's like it dissolves in my mouth, and he's somehow managed to get it stuck onto the back of my leg, so now I have wafer stuck to me. So that is it for this video, and I hope you guys did enjoy, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.